Hello everybody and welcome back to some Ion Formula E action. Just had the I-8 race, was a very dominant drive there. We're going to be seeing another dominant drive today. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Joining you in the commentary box today is Meaty Pod Dolphin and Lion Guy. Hello Lion Guy, anything you're expecting today?
Oh, well, it seems like we're very early on in qualifying. It seems like, I believe he wants his name pronounced Dino, is doing very well. He has set the fastest first sector of the qualifying session so far, and he is a very fast driver, so we should be seeing him up at the front today, as long as Adol Skill is setting the fastest middle sector of qualifying. So it should be very interesting to see, but Dino definitely will have the advantage going in through here, but currently up person on top, Hanzo Main, who was part of the same McLaren team that was doing very well in I-8 before the driver disconnected earlier. As it seems like Adelsko sets the fastest lap so far. Seems like closely followed by the brand stuff. Finite? Yeah, Finite.
I think it's faint. I don't know how to say it really.
Faint.
It's one of them.
As Dino just sets the fastest lap of the race by over 7/10 of a second. That is a very dominant drive by him. But Gene has set the fastest first sector now. Definitely should be interesting seeing who will be on pole. Of course, the race starting at 12:50 EST. We will have a short break in between now and the race. So, should be interesting to see what happens here.
Dino has the fastest time on their new lap. Can't improve in Sector 1. So, I wonder whether this is just a slow lap to prepare for a faster lap, or what eSpirit are planning to do.
Sorry to cut you immediately off, but Gene has set the fastest two sectors in the first and second sector. Going into the third.
Oh yeah, this is Brandstar's new driver moving from McLaren. This could be big for Gene.
Yeah, that's it. He has a very good chance of pole currently. Doesn't mess up the last corner, it seems. Seems to get a really good slipstream onto the back straight. Let's see if he takes pole. Yes, he does.
Right. What's that gap?
Ooh.
6 tenths of a second. 8, 6, 7. We'll call it 7. It's hard because you always take the first number. The last two, you've got to figure it out in your head. Quick maths.
6.5.
Actually, it's 6.53.
Teapot. Of course, Dean moving to Brandstar seems to be doing well, but the Adol in P3, Adol Skillet in P3 seems to be seeing a fast lap.
Oh, and I think Dempsey Alcalon in the Aston Martin was on a fast lap, but just lost it there at the chicane, so they're going to have to rerun their entire lap.
Yeah, of course, I believe... sorry. As it seems like FOX-ish in the 97-year race winners from I-8 are currently setting their laps out there. And Adol Skillet, who is part of the same program that got the 1-2 in I-8 before this, seems to be on a very good lap out of that last corner, overtaking a few cars, including his teammate. Let's see if he goes faster. It seems like the other Brandstar decided to do something. So it seems like it's a Brandstar 1-2. So Brandstar 1-2, that is scary.
Just something to note on quickly, FOX-ish, they were driving an I-8 last race. If they're going to qualify in Formula E, they're going to be series restricted. So I think now, because they've set an official time, they're no longer going to be allowed to drive for X21, scored X21's first points in I-8.
That is going to be very complicated.
Oh, and I think the McLaren of British Kota just flipped upside down there at the chicane.
That's going to be interesting as... what was the username?
FOX-ish.
Yes, I believe as one of the race directors is adding them into our note. But Fing seems to be doing very good in the first two sectors, along with Auto Killer keeping on par with him. Of course, Epic Dude seems to have did the same thing he did during I-8 qualifying today. And I've gotten into a car. And yes, FOX is now series restricted to FE. but his points in I8 will count.
Good.
I believe.
And this is
it's
Yanor
Kebaz.
coming into the garage. I don't know why, but the fleet is in the garage. I think they may be getting into a new car.
Yeah. Kebaz, that's a very good fast Sector 1. Green Sector 1. Let's see how his Sector 2 is going to be here. Of course, someone who has very good experience in GT3, almost winning in Season 1 of GT3, and who just recently
got a Google
podium
Doc. I've got a Google Doc. Kai Kara very kindly sent me some more facts of Formula E, so thank you, Kai Kara. I've got one onto Boz. He got his first Ion podium in 481 days on Friday in the Hydro Series race, so that's over a year between podiums. That might be a record for Ion, I'm not sure. His previous podium was his win in Japan GT3 all the way back in Season 1 of Ion. So that's a very big gap for Boz.
I believe it's season 2 because it's Season 1 of GT3. If I'm not corrected.
Oh, yeah. GT3 Season 1.
It's confusing. But FOX-ish, who did he drive for in I8 earlier today?
X21.
Huh, that is interesting. I'm surprised they would not bring up one of their own juniors, as FOX-ish only got P6 and not bring up like Detemi, who did very well in I8 today. That is definitely something Shady would want to be interviewed on, but possibly could get in contact. But it seems like Brainstar has currently the 1-2, but Dino is going to try and take that from them.
Dino is improving, and considering that Dino's best time is about a 10th behind Brandstar's second best time, Dino could easily break into this Brandstar 1-2 here. So Gene and Feint are going to have to be looking very, very carefully to see what the E-Spirit does. Going now through Sector 2, they're going to be approaching the timing sign to start Sector 3 very shortly. What is going to happen? Is it going to go green? Is it going to go purple? Is it going to go yellow? It goes yellow.
Yellow. Sorry, that took a bit longer than we expected there. But it seems like 10KR also just said ASD. Actually, one of the that's not a
Vitessis.
One of the Venessis, Venessis is green in both sectors. Let's see how this lap's gonna be. Last time we saw someone set both green sectors, they said
maybe able to get ahead of the McLaren. Oh, but that McLaren of ex-Hanselman does set a purple Sector 1. What can this white car do? Only improves to 6th. What can the McLaren do with 4 minutes and 17 seconds remaining of qualifying?
Yeah, Dino seems to have possibly, let's see, Keith does not improve there. We'll see if he goes to another lap. And Tebaz, who we just mentioned about getting his first podium in Hydro, seems to be going very well, setting a green Sector 1. Let's see how, once we pass the timing line, let's see how XXH, he sets a green sector. That lap could be very good for pole here, or very good in the top 10.
Is this car going to go to the front row? Is this car going to go to pole? Oh, no, it's not. They just slid like their teammate British Kota. Ex-Hanselman just slid out of turn, I think that's 11.
Deep but we don't know how good that first sector is. That could be, his first sector could be amazing. Well, that second sector, we really need to see here.
Oh, we just need to see what's going to happen in the third as they cross the line now.
Oh, that's Tebaz butchers his lap. Ooh, only goes P5.
Only fifth. Only fifth.
Tebaz on dual green sectors messes up his lap set on the last corner. Let's see if XX can set another purple sector, yellow or green. Either one. No, only yellow. But still, he could still improve, as the last sector wasn't that good. 10K Ransom is also improving in the other E-Spirit, teammate to Dano, as Rat-E goes P7.
This is Blondie Bale, currently 16th in the General Electric car.
Yes, it seems like the highest qualifying X21 that I've ever seen. Ratty is currently in P7 and improving in the X21, who just got their first points in Ion earlier today. As it seems like XH just said he messed up the sector. His last sector so bad as Ratty spins out the chicane, pushing too hard. As Adolf Skillet does have the 97 of Auto Skillet does have a green sector 1. Let's see how this lap's going to turn out. She goes to the right, onto the straight with Slipstream here. This will be very good for him, as Slipstream was a big factor in last week's race. As he goes into the left-hand turn, it brakes, turns in. Wasn't the best. I think he possibly missed the apex here. We'll see. Yes, the yellow sector 2. We'll see how his last part of the lap looks, as he's on par with Outsco. If he gets a really good exit here, we'll see. Seems to have a bit of Slipstream here.
Gene just seems to be going so smoothly, although it's not converting to an improvement in sector time, so I wonder what's going to be happening with these brand stars. Both Gene and Faint, they're going really smooth, really consistent through all these corners, but they're just not improving.
Ooh, as Addo six the last sector of the race, that's going to start to be scary, as he is only a second off pole currently. If he can keep that going, he might have a really good chance at a good point. Ooh, Gene sets a good last sector, but Dino, green sector 1, this could be it. This could be the end of the reign. Brainstar on top with their 1-2. This will be the final laps as the white flag has deployed.
Just trying to look. Right, okay. 3 points is for pole position, so Gene is currently going to be getting a whopping 3 points for... Oh, I think their teammate of Faint just spun at the chicane.
And what a green sector 1 and green sector 2 messes up his lap. That's going to be the end of his qualifying.
Yes, so 3 points currently going to Gene in 20 seconds, unless when the checkered flag drops, someone can improve. Gene doing a purple sector 2.
As you said, Gene was going very consistently. Maybe he wasn't pushing or getting ready for this lap.
So a yellow sector 1, a purple sector 2. Is it going to be an improvement? 2 seconds, 1 second, and the qualifying checkered flag is out, so no more new laps can be started. Dino goes 3rd fastest. ASDH goes 9th fastest. What's going to happen to Gene's lap? Is it going to be an improvement? Yes, it is! A 121.126 for the Brand Star. What's going to happen to Faint? Will anyone be able to try and get better than that Brand Star's time? They've gone into the pits because they have abandoned their lap because they did mess it up at the chicane.
FOX goes P4.
FOX goes P4 for 97 Cognizant. Wow!
As it seems like a few more cars are improving on track. British Coda sets a green sector 1, of course, all the way down in P18. Sets a green sector 2. I don't expect them to go all the way up in pole, but could rival the top 10 here with a very good lap. Oh, this goes very wide. That shouldn't do anything. Yes, he abandoned that lap. And the Austin Martin of Demshire, as he heads to the final 2 corners. This should be very interesting, as 97 has a 4-5. But Brainstar, as the Austin Martin goes very wide, that lap should not improve that much. Yes, he has abandoned that lap.
Just staying with this X21, Ratye K and P6 they're not improving in Sector 1 or Sector 2. Are they going to do anything in Sector 3? P6 is still going to be a very good starting position.
He backed off.
Okay, so they're going to be not going into the pits then.
Yeah, possibly just wants to cross the line here. Oh,
see Blunderbell here.
Blunderbell's in the pits. Okay, so I guess we have our... Yep, so... So we have our top 10 then. Gene, P1 for Brandstar, followed by his teammate Faint in P2. D1 Dino in the Brandstar in P2 and P3. Dino in the E-Spirit in P3. FOX-ish and Adol Skillet in the 97 in P4 and 5. Ratty in the X21, their best qualifying position ever, in P6. Tebaj in P7 for the KR Racing. Hansel Main in P8 for McLaren. 10K Ransom for, I believe, 10K Ransom. Yes, E-Spirit, and then we see Venturici in their final points playing position. For ASDH. And
You
So
can just see here
qualifying.
this replay of the McLaren going for a little hop and a skip over the chicane. Quite hard to see, to be honest. Okay, so that's going to wrap it up for qualifying, and we'll see you all soon for the race, which is in about 20 minutes' time. See you all then, everybody. Hello everybody and welcome back to Roblox's most advanced electric racing series. We're coming to you live from the third continent we visited this season. Firstly, it was the Middle East in Dyria. Secondly, it was Europe in Zurich. And now we return to Africa, specifically Marrakesh, where Dakar won last season. With 3 reasonable straights and a flat-out section for turns 2 and 3, this track is certainly one of the simplest on the calendar, of course standing in place for Auckland in New Zealand. The attack mode activation point is located around turn 4 with the chicane to navigate at turns 5 and 6. Turn 12 is the tightest corner we'll see today, with all the drivers needing to be very careful that they don't clip any part of their car there just in case they get spun around, which would lose them heaps of time. Everyone is lining up on the grid to get ready for today's race, but in the meantime, let's introduce you to the commentators today. My name is Dpod Dolphin, and joining me once again is Lion Guy. Hello.
Hello there.
Anything interesting you've got to talk about?
Well, I guess we should start by talking about the pole sitter. Of course, Gene had a very good qualifying. And Brainstorm in general had an amazing qualifying. They'll be starting P1 and P2 for this race. They have showed dominance in the qualifying session, but of course you don't want to estimate anyone behind them. Dino, who is a very fast driver, and then you have the both 97 cars. They'll be thinking of something. X21 with Rat, highest quality position for that car, for that team, and car ever. Followed by Tebars, who was a person who's very fast and has skill. Then we have 10K Random and the McLaren of XX Handsome Man. He had a very good lap before he spun going into one of the final corners. That was a very big theme in qualifying. People were setting a very good lap and then they had issues. So Deepod, who do you think will be by end of lap 1, who do you think will be in the lead? Or who do you think will have the best start of the race?
I think, personally, it will be one of the brand starts. Gene made the move from McLaren to brand start and Faint topped FP2 at the fastest time. So I think between them two, it could be either of them, or it could be completely unexpected, somebody from the midfield.
Yeah, it's very possible that it could be somebody just coming from the absolute nowhere. As this has happened a few times now, where cars have had a poor qualifying, but have had a better race. So we'll be expecting to see that possibly repeat itself again.
Dino finished P3 in qualifying. It's going to be lining up third on the grid for eSpirit. Interestingly, they are currently leading the championship, so they may want to try and get a jab in through turn 1, 2, 3, 4, one of them sections, just to try and get ahead, because they won't want to be losing any points to their competitors.
Yeah, that'll be a major thing that they'll want to watch out for. As if they can keep it clean and not lose any points, they'll be very well off going into this race weekend.
So as you can see on the lights, the yellow flag is still being shown.
Meaning we should get underway shortly. Yeah, if it's not already been. Of course, our race directors are some of the best in road racing and should give us some very good action throughout the race weekend. Of course, after the controversy yesterday in Formula and IC, a lot of these races will try and rebound and see how well they can do.
Don't know what the wait is for. Hopefully we'll get underway very shortly.
Yeah, I suspect it's probably still coming to the grid, which we did see multiple times yesterday.
There we go, the tower is being sorted out. This means you don't have to run a full formation lap, so you can get underway a lot quicker.
Though the formation lap is where we can get a lot of details in, but of course the formation lap is not necessary here in Ion half the time. Or most of the time, to say the least. Where most of these drivers are some of the best at doing what they do.
I believe we're going to have 21 drivers on the grid today.
Yes, that would.
And
Do you know
British
of any
Aviator
notable-
has... Oh, sorry, British Cota has just managed to set up... Gone through Sector 3. So I think that means everyone will have to jump out and in again. Which is very helpful from the McLaren.
Of course, how Iron works is they'll have every person jump in and out of the car and proceed to then start up the race. Should be seeing this shortly.
I think I can see a car despawning on the grid. I believe that was one of the X-21s. Okay, right, they're in the car.
That could just be them trying to conserve their energy if they do believe that could be an issue later on in this race. It's something that in the last few races I don't believe we've seen that much depot.
We have had some race restarts, so energy consumption has been a bit wacky.
It's very true.
There's another car with nobody in it. I have no clue what's happening down at the back of the grid.
Possibly just them trying to rework something.
Or it's British Cota coming around again. What is happening with McLaren?
McLaren seems to be falling apart here. Not very good for the race directors. Won't be liking them very at this rate. Definitely want to see what Seng's feeling. Probably a lot of frustration at McLaren. Possibly could just award them a pit lane start if they continue to cause these many issues.
Everyone jumping out and in for a third time.
Which is very good, meaning we should get underway very shortly. Sorry for the enhanced delay, everybody, but it seems like just technical difficulties. Which is a thing that I think most of us are used to after last race weekend. Me and Deepod are at least.
So it's a Brand Star lining up on the grid 1-2, finished 1-2 in qualifying. Seems like the X21 driver of Ratia K has lost their car again.
It's just... I think Depot, you must be agreeing with me. This is...
They just need to just sort it out. Just sort it out.
Yeah, I think most teams, including most teams, would want this finished with already. They want to get racing underway.
Okay, finally, being told by the race directors to watch the lights, and here they do come on. 4 lights, 5 lights are now on. And after a very long wait, they go off, and we are away in Marrakesh with Formula E. The leader, Jean, pole sitter, moving across to try and cover off any moves from behind, but that hasn't helped, as it seems as if the 97 cars have managed to get up there. Dino's doing quite well in the E-Spirit, going through now, down turn 3. Approaching turn 4. What's it going to look like? The attack mode activation zone is here. Is anyone going to take it? I doubt they will on the opening lap. Doesn't look like anybody is. Oh, and the McLaren's hitting the wall there, getting all out of shape. That's spinning round at the back. That's Hansen or British Coda, one of the two. Don't know, but Jean at the moment is leading by 2/10.
Yeah, so it seems like Jean got a good start away, but it seems like Dino has been able to take back places, but it seems to be a very close battle there. A lot of vision lag. So, it should be very interesting to see what might go on during this.
The fleet of Lano has managed to make their way up into P2 already, with Faint running P3. The championship leader, Dino Only Jacob, is P4, 5/10 behind the leader. A very close field, 5 seconds, down to 18th, 5.5, down to 19th.
Yeah, it seems like no one's really making any stock moves yet. But Lanor, our highest mover, where did Lanor start this race at? Because it seems like he has made a lot of places already.
Lanor started on the grid all the way down in P11. They've gained 10 positions on the opening lap alone.
And it seems like he's gunning for the lead. That is very close between. And it seems like a few people like Doc have lost, Tebas have lost a lot of positions here. But it seems like Faint has lost a bit, but along with FOX. Ratty, you're only X21.
Oh no! Jean hit something! I don't know what Jean hit. But Jean's going to be losing loads of positions. Right, okay, let's have a look.
That's the way he's going to be.
What did
so it seems like Ratty might have... I don't know what's going on with Ratty, but it seems like that car might have had a small issue. Lap 1.
Okay, now on the replay, coming around turn 4, approaching the chicane just down here. Here's Jean, was leading the race for Brandstar. What causes the drop to P12? What happened to Jean? I can't tell what happened to Jean. Did Jean hit the wall?
I think he might have... No, I think... You know there's the small curb on the edge of that chicane? I think he might have hit it.
Oh, because there was also another car going around there. I believe that... not sure what car that was, but there was another car going around there. Faint. Jean, all the way down to P11 now. Inept Tava, the first person to take attack mode, with 10k Ranson in the E-Spirit up to 3rd with the fastest lap.
Yeah, he seems to be in that other E-Spirit. E-Spirit currently leading the race as Lano seems to have dropped back places here. Now, of course, Jean is all the way back in P11, so the other Brandstar car is going to have to be competing as there's a two-way tie for 4 as we head into the chicane here that it seems Jean had an issue out at before. And it seems like most cars got through well.
Adolis Killer, P2, challenging for the lead. It looks as if they may have managed to get into the lead. Let's have a look here. Yeah. Now going through.
We'll see at the timing line, but I believe he has. Yes, yeah. That is...
My. I don't understand how that is correct, but it seems to be 7 people died for the lead of the Marrakesh Prix.
Yeah, it seems like this pack is going to make it very competitive here. Of course, a 29-lap race.
We have the first DNF of the day. Demishi Alkion has disconnected from the server.
He was a And it seems like as we cross the line, it's gonna be the 97 of Adolf Skiller in first place. Then, of course, 97 did win the I-8 race, so let's see if they can capitalize on it. Shady, their team owner, would be very happy, I would suspect.
Oh, but in the first sector alone, Dino's managed to get up to second, and ASDH1's managed to get up to third.
Yeah, so it seems like all these cars are highly moving. It's hard to tell who has a chance and who doesn't.
Everyone is so bunched together, it's impossible to tell positions. I'm very interested to see, hopefully there won't be any server restarts or race restarts with energy, especially because these drivers are going to have to make it to the end. So they're going to have to be regenerating energy. They're going to have to be using it with attack mode to try and get ahead of their rivals. I want to see, out of this very close battle, 1 second separates the top 6, by the way. 1 second. So, is energy recovery going to play any sort of games with that order? I think it will.
Yeah, I agree with you that D-Pod, it definitely will cause a major issue. As what I was hearing from teams, there's not a lot of teams that did it, as a lot of teams were focused on that IEC race yesterday. So a lot of them are missing their prime data that would usually have for a race weekend. It should cause a very stark reminder.
Oh, and there's an E-Spirit going round. Just clipping the wall there, I believe that would have been 10k ransom. Yeah, falling to 8th at the line, with Gene holding the fastest lap for Brandstar and Faint running joint 8th with 10k ransom in the E-Spirit.
Yeah, it seems like they're having a very good race here. Big shout to Brandstar. Of course, they are a team that that has competed in a lot of series and has some of the fast drivers here. So it seems like they know what they're doing, but it of course could cause issues in soon for what could happen.
Let's have a look at the leader.
So, if, say, energy does come in, do you think some cars could not be pushing right now? Like, cars, say, down in, like, the bottom 15, whereas I believe that's Epic Dust spinned around. As multiple cars have taken attack mode, 3 cars now have taken attack mode. That is very interesting. From the GE electric cars. One of the GE electric cars, along with the McLaren, taking attack mode.
I'm not really sure who's going to be conserving, to be honest, because I think the best strategy for a Formula E race is to do good in the first few laps, get a good gap, then start to just pace it out, regen, save up some energy, use your attack mode maybe once in there, but then save your last attack mode for the end of the race where you can go full push, full send, 100% commitment and 100% energy usage, because that's the point where these cars are going to be spending the most energy and going the fastest that they possibly could be going on a race weekend.
Yeah, we know how powerful Slipstream is, so it should be very interesting to see.
2 tenths, it said at the last timing line between Adonis Killer and Dino, and it looks as if that gap hasn't gotten any bigger. We'll find out soon. The next timing line is just beyond turn 8. And that gap, oh, it actually extends to half a second now as, oh, is Gene getting out of shape? I believe Gene was getting out of shape in the Brandstar, but they are still running 5th at the timing line. I believe that that time of 1.1 seconds is going to be getting a little bit bigger, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, so sorry to interrupt you, but the car of leader Oblivion has disconnected, so he will not be returning to this race and hence being our second DNF.
Okay, so that means that there's only going to be 19 cars finishing today's race if no one else disconnects or has to retire because of too much energy usage.
Yeah, that's going to be something that we're going to want to monitor. Of course, these cars do not have refilling of energy or anything like that, so energy will be one of the biggest things to watch out for. With server crashes, they don't have much of a detail about how long it could last.
Just looking at the battery here, Dino's on 75%, ASDH is on 78%, so the leader already has a significant less amount of energy compared to the cars around.
So I hope at the end of this lap we'll be able to see what the energy is like, as I think I'll be able to do some calculations
The lowest person is ex-Hansermain in P12, who's currently holding the fastest lap. 72% battery, only 7 laps in.
Ooh, that is scary, definitely to say the least.
71% now for Blondeberg in the General Electric car.
Yeah, and it could be a battle of data gatherers who has made the right strategy calls. I know KR is one of the best at making strategy calls, so if Duck's saving,
both Inept and Ratya both have about a minute left of attack mode each.
Yeah, based on how bad this energy is looking, will these cars even be able to make it?
Well, we'll have to just wait and see.
Line with 72% energy, so he complete 1 lap 8, so that's 8 laps completed, correct?
Yes.
So I'll do some calculations here for the stream. If Dino is using that 3.5 per lap, and it's a 29 lap race, that's 101.5% energy. That's gonna be close.
That's calling it very close indeed. They may just do like a couple regen laps. That may give the eSpirit enough energy, but that is calling it very close. 1.5%.
Yeah, based on my calculations. As what I was able to figure out is, based on Dino, the end of that lap had 72% energy. As we completed 8 laps, and 100 minus 72, of course, is
now just 33 thousandths of a second between P1 and P2.
Yeah. So to continue on with my rate, it's 3.5% per lap as an estimate. Could be over, could be less. But based on that, as we completed 8 laps of this race, and so we're heading on to lap 19, these cars will be close, very close. But are they able to make up that much energy?
When you brake, you do regen a lot of energy, so it's just going to be a matter of doing some very heavy braking zones.
And some lifting. I think they might need to possibly lift in the straights.
Yeah, these straights are very long, so if they're going to be going flat out down all of the straights, and especially the right-hander of turns 2 and 3, I think you can pretty much count that as a 4th straight, because you're flat out through there. So that's...
Yeah, and it seems like...
I'd say that's about 70% of the track you're flat out unless you start coasting.
Yeah, and it seems like FOX has just taken an attack mode. That could be crucial for the end of the race.
And they're up to 4th.
He's going to be up to 1st based on how fast he's going. None of these other cars have attack mode. I think they're in a lot more concerned, but they'll be getting his slipstream, which would be bad for him. So he wants to try and get Polygapia to them, and then try and recharge.
Up to second! Up to second already! A purple sector, a green sector on attack mode. 66% battery remaining for FOX-ish. Running P2. May be running P1 now. Looks to be ahead of the eSpirit of Dino. Is this going to be a leading maneuver now for the 97 Cognizant car?
Yeah, but it can do everything now, but there still isn't the end of the race. There could be an issue at the end of this race.
Now a second ahead! They've come from 6th to 1st in the matter of a lap.
Yeah, and a lot of people are expressing concern people won't be able to finish this race, but other people are saying they will. Yeah, and based on what I'm hearing in my ear from B guys, is if you take attack mode, you have a very little chance of finishing the race.
So are people going to choose to not take attack mode then?
Yes, and try and conserve the energy as if they deal with it, it'll cut out too much of their energy reserves. Or we could be seeing a lot of lifting on the last lap, and well, that can cause issues.
Very interesting indeed. I wouldn't expect people to not take attack mode in a race. That's just... There must be some serious energy conserving issues for teams to have to worry about.
Yeah, and it seems like we could possibly get an interview in here, possibly.
Ex-Hansermain in the McLaren has just gone back into the top 10, so their point for fastest lap now counts again. Now on 2 points if they finish in this position at the end of the race, although that position is very, very, very hotly contested with Epic Dusk. They're inside of each other. Toboz is also getting in the mix there as well in the KR car.
Yeah, and I believe he has been saving a lot. That is the strategy that they ran last week, based on what I heard from the internal communications. Of course, we do not have the radio bot, so hopefully we'll have it back online next week.
Oh, Adolis Skiller. Oh, Dino and Adolis Skiller sharing P2.
That is going to be major, but as FOX shall win on attack mode, how low is his battery compared to everyone else? That is something that we'll need to see, possibly, if we could get that up on the... If we can see. His battery's on 59.29%. Dino is on 60.5, correct? Sorry. So it's about a percent and a half difference. That could be major for the end of the races. That's what we predicted could predict. And could be the difference between finishing and not finishing this race. Of course, people can coast over the line, but that won't be efficient.
Lanor 04 leading, but barely. Looks as if they've actually fallen behind since the last timing line. Dino second, FOX third, but just like all the laps before, that's going to have a little jiggle. Right now, as they cross the line, it says Dino's leading with ASDH1 in second.
Yeah, it definitely seems like Dino might be able to get around with this. I'll be right back. I have to quickly get a drink before my throat dies on me.
Don't blame you.
Back.
Volt GE is currently the highest running driver with attack mode for the Tesla Ryzen team. Still says Dino is leading. No, it does look like that's changed. The lead for this race is so hotly contested. Less than a second separates the top four between Adolis Killer, Lanor 04, Dino Engie Jacob, and 10k Ransom. 9/10 separate them. For 1.2 seconds separate the top five.
Yeah, it's very interesting here. And it seems like Mr. Decker could be wanting to get an interview, so we might get that man in here shortly. Of course, he is the world champion in Formula 1. As we see look at that battery difference, D-Pod. Over 9%, but...
Yeah, like, what have we got the highest? The highest is 68%, and the lowest, we're looking around 50%.
Yeah, but of course, Rowdy is a lap down, so I don't think we should take that. But in the top 10, our highest is 65%. So I think we'll be welcoming Deccan to our commentary booth very shortly to see if he has more insight.
The average gap for the top 8 is 0.15 seconds. That is absolutely mental.
Yes, but the battery difference is over 10%. Could that be the difference of...
By the end of the race, this is going to change so much. I'm not even going to try and predict it.
Yeah, but I think we have some inside battery insight from KR, so I'm going to welcome Dakar into the booth real shortly.
Hello, Dakar.
Hi.
So, what do you know about the battery situation? You said you have some internal details.
So, as per the front pack, as you can see, Adolis is on the lead right now. He's on 49%. He's not finishing the race, at least not comfortably. The same goes for Dino, 10k. Fox got the first attack mode, 54% with about 70 laps left. They will have to coast heavily to the end. They will not be able to finish comfortably with attack mode at the end.
So, what do you think at this current state? How much battery do you think you need right now to finish?
Right now, you need somewhat close to what Jin and Fanged currently have. Fanged made a mistake.
That's interesting. So, say like a driver like Tebaz, who is outside the top 10, has a chance of getting in, as he has a lot more battery than everyone else. That could be optimistic for that KR racing team.
Yep. Tebaz is currently on 55%, so he's somewhat in the good range to be able to push in the end.
Yeah, and I suspect KR, with their almighty data collection, should be able to have predicted this a long time ago. So it should be very interesting to see. So
Yep.
who do you think has a chance at the race win then, based on all the battery things?
So the people which are probably going to win this are Lenor, Jin, Feint, and maybe Tiboz.
Okay, that's very
will-
interesting.
They will be able to finish comfortably if not pick attack mode.
That's very interesting to know. Well, thank you so much for the inside details. So I guess we can send you on your way.
Yep.
Have a great
Thank
day.
you guys and good luck.
You too. So that was Dakar. Dakar 2. He is the Ion Formula 1 World Champion for Season 1, 2, and 3. And probably one of the best experts in Ion. So if he says they won't finish, they probably won't be finishing this race.
The poll on stream at the moment says 44% of people think Dino has a chance at winning the race. Well, from what we've heard from Dakar, that may not be true because of battery percentages. But if you do think somebody else could win, make sure to say it in chat and we'll have a little look.
Yeah, it definitely seems like a lot of people are siding with Dakar on Gene. I personally don't believe at all. I think his batteries are too low. I think 97 has made the wrong strategy call. Of course, with the server disconnect, this is all at the window, so let's hope there isn't one as will make for a very exciting end of the race.
Adolis Killer still leading the race quite significantly in terms of what we've seen so far, over a tenth ahead of P2, which at the last timing line was the E-Spirit, but that's all changing. It switches to the other E-Spirit of Dino and Jacob. 10k ransom falls down by over a second. What happened to that E-Spirit car? Lanor04 is currently running third with Fleet.
Yeah, and just looking at our battery percentage currently, XX Hanzo Man has the lowest battery percentage at 38%, with over 50% of the race still to go. Yeah, the likelihood of him finishing is getting lower. I think if you're over 50% at this current state and you haven't been saving too much, you should be fine. But someone like Dino is going to be very close, as based on the percent, he has a 47% with 13 laps to go. It's less than a half race distance, yeah. Possibly should be able to make it, but Adol, I think he'll be DNFing personally. But it's too early to tell, of course. Anything can happen in Formula E.
I wouldn't be surprised if that McLaren starts dropping, either by regen, or they're just going to thrash it out till the end to try and get some points at least. Because at this rate, I don't think that McLaren's really going to be lasting too much longer. They may just push, DNF, or try and slowly creep to the line.
Sorry. So it seems like Epic Dusk, if we want to pan over to Epic Dusk, is stuck, actually, on the curbing at the chicane. If we can get a good view of that.
Epic Dusk has just left the car, so Epic Dusk has DNF'd. Now just going to be 17 drivers remaining in this race.
Yep, seems like Epic Dusk has got stuck, but on other news, Feint has taken attack mode. He has 53%, so he has a high chance of finishing this race, so that could be a very good call from them. So that absolutely is horrible for Epic Dusk, who was running a P10 when he was stuck on the curbs. Very similar to one of his close friends, Jogsy, from the IC race yesterday. What happened to him when he DNF'd.
So Boz is nearly
so
making
it seems
into
like we have
points.
a tie for the lead now. ASDH1, who is somebody that we haven't seen, is now tied for the lead. By the inside
66 thousandths of a second.
So I'm just getting some information from Fexlin, who say he is Dino's engineer, and he is fine on energy. That is something that could contradict what Dakar is saying. So it definitely could be interesting to see if we could get him in the commentary booth and see what he is saying. Of course, he does GT3. Could be an interesting person that Odu to have.
It's returned to an E-Spirit 1-2 at the timings line, although on track it is absolute mayhem for the top 10. So close together. 3.866 seconds separates the top 10 with another 6-second gap down to Boz in 11th.
Yeah, but of course some of these guys will start lifting off soon, and we expect XX to have a major lift off eventually. So, should be very interesting.
Here's to Boz, running P11 currently.
Oh, as it seems like fight is all the way up to P9 now. Seems to be the gaps are starting to pop back up, but I believe Slipstream is 610 to the car ahead, 6 to 710. So if you're within that, you'll be fine on Slipstream. And just an update on the poll, a lot of you still think that Dino can finish the race, but personally, I think it'll be close. Based on his current energy consumption, he is on 38%. It could be very close at the end.
Adolis Killer is all the way down on 31%. That's a lot lower than the Volt GE, behind in the Tesla Rising car. Just managed to make it up to third. So I believe we could be seeing Adolis Killer and 10k Ransom falling down very soon, and then Dino and ASTH1 shortly afterwards. They're both on the exact same percentage of battery usage.
Yeah, but just looking at the battery usage, we have a few guys that are already in the mid-20s, which is worrying. XX Hanzo Main seems to be at 25%, and Libor Roblox is at 26, so they will be probably the first two cars to DNF from this race. As it seems like Blonde Bill YT has retired from the race, possibly could not make it on battery. That is your most recent retirement.
Yeah, Blonde Bill is into the pits.
So everyone past 15 is retired but British Coda, because British Coda.
British Coda is still running 109 seconds behind the leader, 50 seconds behind the car ahead. Well, 30-ish seconds, I'd say, as Gene now takes the attack mode for Brown Star. Faint is into the lead.
Yeah, so I have some information from 97. The owner says, based on their data, they will be very close in the end in the race in terms of battery, so that could turn into a very interesting situation. D-Pod.
I'm very excited to see how this is going to turn out at the end of the race, because there's only 10 laps to go. We're 2/3 into the race already, so battery percentages are going to start falling.
Yeah, we're getting very close, and we are lapping. Look how close every car is here. It is mad. A car that we haven't seen a lot is Tesla Volt, who seems to have made up a lot of places. Tesla is owned by a newer owner, and it's somebody that we definitely want to watch out for. And Volt, as you could be in P2 when the line crosses here if he gets lucky. Yeah, seems to be around P4 now.
P3.
P3, sorry. So that Tesla is doing very well. And it seems like the F4X has dropped down from the top 10, could possibly starting to conserve battery.
Here we go then, round into turn 4. Nobody taking attack mode out of this group. There's just a group of 9 cars just going around by themselves, with Gene just trailing off a little bit at the end. But P4 is shared by Faint, ASDH1 and Adolis Killer, with a 10th ahead being Volt GE, with a 2/10 ahead of that exactly is Dino, and then 66 thousandths ahead of Dino as the teammate 10k Ransom. This win can go to absolutely anybody at this rate.
Yeah, last weekend it was very close. We could expect a similar thing where we had a tie on the line where both cars, Dino and someone else, had a tie on the start finish straight. That would be another crazy situation.
Taboz, that's not Taboz, that's Taboz, currently running around smoothly, around P11, 8.4 seconds behind the leader. I won't be surprised if we see a late stealth attack from this driver, because their energy consumption is a lot lower than the cars ahead, so as soon as them cars start dropping back, I wouldn't be at all surprised if the KR racing car starts to climb the order and score some decent points.
Yeah, it seems like the FOX Wish could have start conserving, as he is starting to fall behind Tebars, who is now in P10 now. 6 seconds behind the leader. as we have a tie for first place here between Volt and Dino, but it seems like it's very close. As Dino is back in the lead, but look how close that battery is. Can he make it?
XX Hanzamain is going to be falling back shortly. Only 15% remaining. How much do you think per lap that Hanzamain is going to be using?
With around 3%, he'll be falling out right at the end of the race. I suspect in 3-4 laps we'll see him fall back.
Okay,
but
3-4 laps.
We'll definitely want to hear from.
Oh, and is that a fleet?
Flipping.
Who's that?
It might have been a back marker. Who was that? Was that ERT? That might have been ERT Spiders.
I don't think so.
Yes. Because everyone else seems in the right positions.
I just remember.
Yeah, we haven't lost anybody.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, we'll be looking at a very interesting replay. Look in the background. What is that? It's the Aston Martin.
Did I just miss it? I think I might have just missed it. I just missed it. No.
But very possible that is the Aston Martin of ERT Sniper.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, so that could, if that was Dino, that could be the end of your race.
Oh, right, yeah, okay, he's just set the fastest lap with attack mode activated. X21 holding the fastest lap at the moment. That's unexpected.
Clearly, yeah, but of course he's just trying to minimize the points here. Points gain of other teams, as he knows he will not be able to take that point, as he is 134 seconds off the lead.
James Rigby has activated their attack mode, driving for Vitesse.
Yeah, XX. So let's see if Dakia's theory was correct. Who is lifting? Just based on, I want to see what XX is, as just gonna come over to. We can see the McLaren garage is not currently saying. Of course, we are looking at number 11. Yeah, he is on 8% XX. That is
falling to 6th now.
Yeah, he's in the danger zone. Even with conservation, I think that McLaren car is going to be out of the race.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we see them pitting at the end of this lap or next lap, because there is zero way that McLaren is making it to the checkered flag. You see Gene now getting ahead in the Brand Star.
Yes, it seems like the end is inevitable. This one car, XX on 6% now. The end is inevitable. That car will be, McLaren will be very sad. He was holding on for dear life for so long, but will we see a late charge?
Volt is currently actually leading the race, but I wouldn't take that for granted, Tesla Ryzen, as Dino, ASDH1, Landor, Adolis Killer, or Gene, they can just pop their way into the lead, and it will change by the next timing line. It's unpredictable, and that is why everyone loves Formula. Well, not everyone. A lot of people love Formula E, because you just can't predict at the start of a race who's going to win it. I wouldn't have predicted at the start of the race that Dino would be leading, and then it was switching with Volt, and then it was switching with Gene, and then it was switching with pretty much everyone else.
Just a fun fact, Volt did not qualify, I don't believe.
Volt didn't qualify?
Volt, no. No man, he did. He qualified P12. Sorry.
Well, from P12 to leading the race in lap 23, that's a pretty good drive.
Yeah, ASDH1 qualified P10. Yeah. Of course, we all look how close they are. Of course, XXX, we could see him run out of energy any second now. 3% left on his car. That is
This
most
is the
likely
last lap
end
for the McLaren.
or very soon to be. I'd love to see battery percentage as we see. Yeah, 4%. And then it seems like everyone else is actually fine on battery, it seems. But we should start seeing him drop back very shortly.
3%. 8% interestingly for Adolis Killer.
That's gonna be close at the end of the race also.
Oh, Libor Roblox is on 1%. Why are they not coming into the pits? They need to come into the pits. They're going to run out of energy. So this is going to be the first car to go. The Swisscom Blue Racing car. And they're out of energy.
He's on 0.22, 0.27, he's harvesting actually.
There's no more racing for this car.
Yeah, he's just harvesting energy. He's actually on 1% battery again.
And here's Hanselmain. They're going to be running out in just the same fashion very shortly.
Jet number 11.
They're going around here so slowly. Are they going to try and make it to the end?
Yeah.
Because I don't think that's very possible.
Yeah, he's on 2%. Yeah, no. And just to clarify, we are not talking about pitting for a new car. We're talking about coming into the pits and not leaving the car on track. As Liverpool has somehow made it up to 2% energy again, that is mighty fine effort.
But they are stopped on track. Their car is just switched off. They can't keep going. And they have left the car and DNF'd from the race. So Libor Roblox in the Swisscom car is no longer racing. Just the top 15 now driving.
Yeah. Seems like the only real person ever FOX, but
oh, and XX Hanselmain can see the fate of the other car in front as they round turn 4. It's not looking too good for this McLaren.
He's on 2%. This is... It's very sad to see what is going on. Of course, these cars can recharge battery, but without a slipstream, he is, yeah, as good as done. As Libo is now walking on track, trying to get back. That
oh, the Vitesse there of ASDH1, not only low on battery, but also round the last corner, low on skill, just losing it there slightly.
Idle skill of 3%. I think this is our next one to die, D-Pod. It's a sad fate for the 1970 that was running so well throughout this race, but I suspect the worst will be coming. As Gene takes attack mode with 21%, so does both brands just take attack mode. That was strategically played. They knew they had the most.
They now have more power and more energy. It's like 50 kilowatts more power to the two brand stars. Are they going to be pushing now for a 1-2?
Yes, 100% here. It seems like they were smart on this battery game and no one else can counter it, really. As it seems like, but of course it is harder to handle with more power going through your rear tires. And slipstream will be a major thing throughout this.
On board now with ASDH1, their race is going to be coming to an end very, very shortly, or they're just going to have to crawl to the finish because it's not looking good for them or the McLaren of XX Hanselmain.
And Adol Killer is on 0.7%. That car will retire from this Grand Prix and will not continue. Adol Skiller is almost out of this race.
You'll hear the battery, you'll hear the motor cut, and then it will go really low. There it is! In the exact same place as Libor Roblox, Adolis Killer is out of the Marrakesh ePrix. What's happening to Hanselmain? They still have energy. They're still driving.
Of course, we'd want to see Lando now takes attack mode. That is That is a strategic play right there. We'll need to see if he has enough energy, though, to make a D-pod.
So Fleet may now just be trying to counter Brandstar.
Yeah,
Gene's got into the lead, and Gene and Feint are setting personal best sector ones. Gene's got into the lead by nearly 2 seconds now. Feint is still trying to get past the E-Spirit of Dino Only Jacob. So Gene and Feint are really attacking these final podium positions. Lanor is not missing out, though. They're going to be wanting to climb the order as well.
Yeah, so it should be very interesting going forward. Let's see how close it will be, as, of course, Lanor is a car that you're going to be watching out for. But any car that didn't have enough energy, this must be horrible. But this is the benefit. Oh, Vault is so close on energy. Vault and
ASTH has just been lapped by Gene.
Now, Vault ADH. He is on... let me see. 069. Vault is somebody that we need to watch out for. He's on 1%.
Lanor sets a purple sector 1.
He might not be going for the win. He's going for the fastest lap also.
An extra point is certainly nothing to complain about, as Dino has taken attack mode as well on the last lap here in Morocco.
You're going to want to watch out for ASTH1 because he is very low on attack, along with Vault.
Dino and Feint are sharing the sector times. They're both 2.266 seconds exactly behind the leader. This is going to come down to the line. We're on the last lap. Everyone in the top 4 has attack mode, as it's now a Brandstar 1-2 coming into turn number 11. Down the final straight. Slipstream is effective. Lanor is going to be getting the fastest lap here if they keep it together in the 3rd sector. It's incredibly close, though, between the Fleet and the Brandstar of Feint. Gene now coming around the final corner to come across the line to win in Marrakesh. What happens to Feint? Feint gets 2nd and Lanor gets 3rd with the fastest lap. What happens to Dino? Yeah. Dino falls from 1st to 4th in the space of less than 2 laps, and the P5 position is going to be going to Vault.
Vault in out of energy!
Vault is out of energy at the line!
Just a coast across? No.
No! The positions are falling! Positions are falling! Topol's finishes ahead of Vault! So does... No, that wasn't SDH1.
Energy also. ASTH, look at his car.
What happens to 10k Ransom? 10k Ransom can finish the race, but Topol's got Vault on the line!
Yeah, but look at to ASTH1. He doesn't have an engine either. Wow. That is, wow. That's, to say the least, that is something.
That is the closest finish I have seen with drivers running out of energy on the line. Of course, last time out in Zurich, the finish was tied, but I haven't seen somebody lose that much. Oh, and the servers crashed right after the race. How helpful. I haven't seen somebody drop off that quickly for a very long time.
Well, I think we just need to absorb that. Well, the server crashed directly. That is, that is not suspicious, to say the least. Yeah, I don't want to say anything about that, but that was definitely one of the best. And Dakar was the one with the strategy masterclass. I kind of want to hear from him again. How did he pull that off, Dakar? Trying to hear also. I think if you're an engineer, come into the Ion Media Discord and come into the interview waiting. We want to hear how you finished that race.
It said minus 20% at the end, but we somehow managed.
That is crazy.
Yeah, we somehow managed to get it down to barely 1% plus. It actually says for 10k ransom, it says minus 0.3%. I had to tell him to save a bit more than push. But yeah, for Dino, he was on track to get a podium. The others saved way too much better compared to him. So the better idea would have been taken attack mode on lap 28, but he couldn't since he had way less battery. So we were left with battery attack mode on the final lap, and that would have worked out so much. Would have kept us very close if it weren't for his spin. He had a little spin, but yeah.
That is 10K of course, finishing P and not being able to catch ASDH and
Yeah.
Volt, who both ran out of energy on the line.
Bro, that was insane.
I
Yeah.
know. We were like, in here, the commentary box. I'm gonna bring a Decker here to give it a
Bro, I'm
comment.
sweating.
Yeah,
I'm
that was a good race.
sweating.
Hello, Decker.
Hey, Dak, what did you say about Dino not finishing?
Well, he did finish, but I don't remember what position he finished in. He wasn't able
What?
to take attack mode.
Third Decker.
P4.
I think
He did the attack mode, but yeah, that wasn't
Look
part
where
of the
Spin
plan.
brought us. P1, P2. Look where it brought us. Look
Yeah.
where the strategy brought us.
We didn't have any attack
Stop the
mode data,
podium.
so that's why we left it to the end.
I told you he would not be able to finish comfortably. I told you.
Wow.
I said it.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
whoever
yeah.
was Volt's engineer, I think they just need to make it go about like 0.5 short, like another second longer, and the Volt finishes ahead of Duck, which is massive, to say the least. So, well, congrats to both Brainstar and eSpear for having an amazing race, and we'll be sending you guys on your way, and we'll get Duck in here. She can. Hello,
Hello to
Mr.
Boz.
Duck.
Oh,
So that was a good race for you. I saw you caught Volt on the line.
very good race.
Yeah, and at the end, you should Volt ran out of energy on the last turn, and you guys just caught him. We're like, did he really? Like that was crazy. At the end, how do you feel about how you finished that race?
That was a very good result for me. I don't think I could have done much better than that.
Do you think it was a interesting race with no server crashes, and seeing how low the energy can go?
Yeah, I did want that in the previous race, obviously because of the server crash.
Well, the server did crash at the end of this race somehow, but
yeah,
possibly.
I mean it
Other
was
factors.
it was very lucky that it didn't crash 2 minutes before, did it?
Yeah, well, congratulations to you guys.
Thank you.
I heard KR had a decent race. Do you know where the Scuppins was though?
Scuppins had some exams or something. I'm not really too sure. so
That
he couldn't attend.
stinks. That could be another KR car that could finish very well.
Yeah.
So I'll be sending you on to your team. So have a great day.
Right, thanks.
So D-Pod, how do we want to finish this off? It was a amazing race to end off with, to say the least. Probably one of our favorites.
Yeah, it's just so close.
Close is an understatement, man. It was more than close. Like some teams pulled it to the last second. So amazing job to most of them, and yeah, I guess that's gonna be the end. I think we might have the podium. Well, we have the podium.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if they're gonna do it. There's not many people are in the server yet.
Yeah, it's very interesting
Gene and
that we had a
Fainter
server
here.
crash
Gene
at
and
the end.
Fainter here.
Okay. Well, let's see. Where is Lenore? Is Lenore on here? Okay, I guess we're gonna have the podium here. So, just to finish off the top three here, as we'll try and get them onto a podium, we had in P1 we had Gene. In P1 we had Gene. Well, we're getting everyone up to the podium. So in P1 we had Gene, in P2 Faint, and P3 Lanor. Hey, Teapot.
Yeah?
Do you have admin to give people stuff?
No.
Okay. Well, we should be getting the podium starting very shortly. Let's all open up the thing. Okay, now we're gonna look at the podium. So, your podium for the Marrakesh ePrix is... So in third place we have Lanor. Second place.
There we go. Here's some
Okay, we
music.
have our podium. In third, we have Lanor. In second, Fate for Brandstar. And your winner for Brandstar also, Gene, on his debut race for Brandstar Formula E.
Of course, moving
Thank you all
from
for
McLaren.
Yep.
I don't know if anyone knows where Lanor is, but they've clearly not rejoined the server, so just the Brandstar guys on the podium.
Yeah, of course.
Very good job for the strategy guys, because they just went from nothing to a 1-2 in the space of about 3 laps, taking attack mode very late in the race.
Yeah, very nice job to them. Probably one of the best strategy masterclasses we have seen in Formula E.
So that's going to be all for the Marrakesh ePrix. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching, and we'll see you next week when we'll have some Formula 1 and Formula 2 action, as well as some GT3 and a crossbow action.
Yes, see you then.
Goodbye, everybody.